So it's not often that I post videos on YouTube or anything at all to do with what's going on in Napoli. It's a beautiful city. However, this time there's something important to talk about. We have an elephant in the city that no one is talking about. Everyone's frightened here. Everyone knows about Vesuvio to the east of here, but to the west we have a caldera. It's a large underground volcano, 12 kilometres wide. Some of it's covered by the sea. The ground is rising there. It's threatening to blow. And when it does, the explosion could potentially be huge. Absolutely huge. So it's not just Napoli that's going to be affected, it's going to be the whole Earth. This isn't a matter of if, this is a matter of when and how. No one really knows when. It's being monitored incredibly closely, but how? The worst case scenario, it could probably destroy this whole area very quickly, and no one's going to stand any chance at all. The least case scenario, it could vent, but there will be a lot of ash in the sky. And again, lots of variables, wind direction, impossible to predict anything at the moment. We just know it's going to happen. And the question is, well, why don't you move? My life is here. I only really discovered a life after moving to Napoli. And yeah, okay, there's a caldera there, and it's just about to go bang. I don't know to what extent. Let me explain the situation to you. You can see here, this area, the red zone there is the area that's most at risk. The yellow zone is where I'm living at the moment. Let me just move my windows around so I can explain that a bit better. Yeah, here, the red zone. I'm actually living here in the yellow bit. So yeah, I'm frightened. I don't like to think about it too much because it sends me crazy. But if it does blow, what direction do I go in? Prevailing wind in Napoli is southwest. It blows this way. So if this area explodes, the dust cloud is going to go northeast. So escaping to the north doesn't seem to be an option. My plan at the moment is to head down to Torre del Greco here. That's assuming that the wind is blowing in the right direction, I have enough time to get out, and it's not going to be a pyroclastic surge like happened at Pompeii. Because if that happens, it's going to spread through the entire region at about 700 kilometres an hour. It's going to be, nothing's going to be left. No one's going to know anything about it. But those are the areas at risk at the moment. And if we move down to the next one, this is the situation here underground at the moment. What's happened is the ground has sunk. This is the volcano under the ground, and you can see the way it's sunk in the middle. What's happened is geological processes have created quicklime. The heat has brought that quicklime to the surface, and it's reacted with the local rocks. And you can see this white layer here. That is basically a cap, a very hard cap, reputed to be as hard and as durable as Roman concrete. Now, Roman concrete is still supporting buildings 2,000 years on. It was an incredible invention, and that's what's happened and formed naturally in this caldera. The problem is, it's now like a pressure cooker. The ground is rising. It's been rising for a little while, but there's a lot of increased activity there. People are getting worried. Lots of earthquakes over there. At the end of February, there were 200 earthquakes in one day, I believe. Yesterday, I counted 9. They're very low magnitude, although last week we had a 4.4 over there that was recently upgraded to a 4.6. People are beginning to move out of the area There's a lot of fear over there. I'm right on the edge of that. I have a range of hills that protect me from a lava flow. If a lava flow comes out of this, it's not going to reach me. The heat, the ash coming out the sky, yeah, I've got to get away from that, and I'll have a chance. But if that's a pyroclastic surge, that's coming over those far hills, 700 kilometers an hour. The shock wave will hit my ears a fraction of a second before the blast hits me, so I'm not going to know anything about it. So, in that respect, I know it's a black way of looking at it, but I'm very grateful for that. So, that's the geology underground. Let me just show you the next slide there, which is this one. Yeah, this is the monitoring page that we're seeing. You can see at the moment, it's the 21st of March. It's 11:48 in the morning here. These are where we're getting the earthquakes. Where I'm living is just off the top right of that map there, and the hills that protect me are here. They protect me from a lava flow. They won't protect me from a pyroclastic surge. Here, these lines here are the different frequencies that are being recorded from the ground vibrations. Low frequencies at the bottom, high frequencies at the top. You can see here the ground moving. Here are the different stations. You can see the sort of activity over to Bagnoli there, which is here. There's a lot of activity here. The bottom one that you see is in the middle of Napoli here. You can see this background noise going on all the time. But little spikes here, the activity there. There's a lot going on. Over on the left here, you can see the date. It's the 21st, so we haven't had a quake today. Yesterday was the 20th, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We had 8 earthquakes yesterday, starting at 6:20 in the morning, throughout the day, the last one, 6 minutes past 11 last night. The magnitudes are very low, 0.1, 0.4, 0.9. There was a 1.7 there yesterday, but the big one was the 4.6 just over a week ago. But things are, I would say, beginning to heat up, and that's about what it is. There's a huge magma chamber, I think, 7, 8 kilometers below the surface, and that's percolating up to the top. And there's a sub-chamber now, 3 kilometers below the surface, and that's trapped beneath the cap. The pressure is building. The ground is shaking. Eventually, this will go bang. We don't know how it will go bang. We don't know when it will go bang. The only thing we're sure of is that it will. So the other problem is establishing evacuation procedures. There are official evacuation procedures for Napoli in place. However, they all depend on it being an earthquake. The whole idea is that the people who are trying to get out of the city will congregate at specific predefined meeting points, and then they will wait for buses, and they will wait to be directed onto public transport. Now that's great if there's a minor earthquake and people want to move out slowly, but there will be panic. But if there's an explosion at Campi Flegrei, those plans are not going to work. Those plans are designed to deal with an earthquake, not a massive volcanic eruption. I don't think they're going to work. So I'm making my own plans to evacuate. I'm experimenting with different ways of getting out of the city very, very fast. I'm creating a go bag with passport, money, emergency supplies that I can grab and go. But there are so many variables. Which way is the wind going to be blowing? When will it go up? How will it explode? Will it be lava? Will it be a pyroclastic surge? Either way, I have to get out of this area extremely quickly. My preliminary plan is to head southeast. First step is get down to Torre del Greco. There's a chance there, being right next to Vesuvio, that Campi Flegrei will trigger Vesuvio. I don't know. I'm trapped between the two. I have Vesuvio on one side and I have Campi Flegrei on the other. So, it's going to be interesting. But I will try to update when I can if the situation changes. But that's the situation, the way it is at the moment. If any of you have any questions, then put it in the comment below. If any of you have any advice, if any of you have been in the same situation as me, there have been several volcanic eruptions around the world over the years. Have any of you ever been in my position? And if you have, what did you do? Moreover, how did it change you? I'd be really interested to know, because this is really unexplored territory to me. Okay, I'm going to see if I can update you soon. Thanks for watching.